This video is going to be a follow-up to my last Pyrocynical video, so if you haven't seen that one or you don't know anything about this situation somehow, and this is your first time actually hearing about it, I recommend you watch it for context. But from where I left off, I was going to wait for Pyro to respond to the allegations that Ivory, the person that accused him, made, because although the accusations against him were really serious, there was nothing definitive that said the person messaging Ivory was Pyro, let alone that Pyro was grooming them or knew their age. At best, there was really graphic roleplay, but without proof that Pyro knew they were underage, you couldn't say that he was purposely being inappropriate with a minor, let alone that it was grooming, or yet again, that it was actually Pyro. The best that Ivory had was Pyro's girlfriend Ida messaging him about it, and although her messages were suspicious and really toxic, it wasn't definitive proof that the messages were from Pyro, and yet again, nothing had pointed to it being grooming, so most people were just waiting to see if he would respond to it and what he would say, including me. And recently he responded on his subreddit, so I want to go over that as a follow-up to my last video, along with Ivory's response to it all. Now, Pyro admitted to doing furry roleplay from back in the day, and admitted to doing it with Ivory, but he said at no point was there grooming, it was just fantasy roleplay and nothing happened in real life, nor did Pyro ask for a real-life picture of Ivory. Along with that, Ivory had never said at any point that they weren't comfortable doing it anymore, and they had also never disclosed their age to Pyro, and never made their age public at all until a year after they started roleplaying with him, and it was only on Twitter. And Pyro never saw that because he was suspended off of Twitter when they did change it. Along with that, he links to Tommy C's video interviewing Ivory, where Ivory admits to not only not knowing the definition of grooming at the time, but also not really believing in that claim anymore. I'll link to the video in the description. I recommend you watch it for more context. He also links to screenshots of people that knew Ivory talking about how Ivory would lie about their age for role-playing. And if you're lying to other people about your age, why wouldn't you lie to Pyro about it? Not only that, Ivory had not only initiated roleplay with other people that were around the same age as Pyro, and roleplayed with them at the same type of level. When one of them reached out to Ivory to apologize for what they went through because of them, Ivory responded with, "No, you're fine, I don't care," which immediately destroys a lot of the case against Pyro, because not only does it show that Ivory's not really angry at Pyro because of what he did, but only because of who he is and how much clout he has. It destroys the story of Pyro being this evil guy who did a horrific crime, because you're alright with other people doing it to you from back then, but not him. Granted, you never gave your age to them either, let alone Pyro, and now not only do you care, you only care because it's Pyro. And it really shows what this person wanted, because a lot of people from the beginning were assuming that they were only doing this for clout, and they've proved it now. Not only that, they kept in contact until September, and only a month later you now hate him, and you have to end his career for the safety of others. And Pyro also shows that Ivory hasn't only sent him an SFW, but he's also sent other people it as well. Obviously I'm not going to show it, but I'll leave a link to the Reddit post. So it was like he wasn't the only one. And all in all, it was a really solid response. He owned up to what he did, disproved all of the lies and hypocrisy that Ivory was doing, and said not to harass anyone and just to move on. It was really solid, and it's really respectable how he was able to handle something as serious as an allegation like that, and just being able to move on from it, especially since he did it in a really compact Reddit post that was really well put together. Now I kinda wish that he would have explained his girlfriend a bit, because she was really toxic and kinda threw him under the bus, and she was like one of the main reasons people took it more seriously. But I can chalk that up to her being angry about her boyfriend being falsely accused of something, and I can understand that. No one wants someone they care about going through that, and you might not know how to handle it, so all in all, I can't really judge her for being angry, but I hope she knows how to handle this stuff better. But Ivory responded to this on Twitter, and it was a rather confusing response if I'm going to be honest. Ivory said that Pyro had taken the "I don't care" screenshot out of context and gave the full one, but it didn't really prove anything. The screenshot was the same, except with the added line of "I just need space right now to think about it," which doesn't make the "I don't care, it's fine" part go away. Saying you need space doesn't change that, and correcting it now only makes it look more suspicious. And also, there's no proof that the guy apologizing to you over DMs is the same guy. And he also links to old evidence as a way to try and show that Pyro did know his age, and that Pyro was lying about that and a bunch of other things as well. And I've looked over it along with the other stuff he's posted, and it doesn't really show anything or disprove anything. All they have is another Discord conversation with yet again no proof that it was Pyro. Along with that, there was nothing that I saw that showed that Pyro should have known Ivory's age, or that Ivory told him, or anything like that. And when there's proof of you lying to other people at the time about your age, and you don't have proof that Pyro did know your actual age, let alone the fact that you singled out Pyro for what multiple people did, I don't see why people should believe you. And instead of backing off with those claims, now you're doubling down on them. And that's the weird part to me. Not only has he backed away from the grooming allegations and now he's coming back to them, if Ivory would have wanted to make Pyro look like a weirdo that was like inappropriate with people, they could have done it very easily easily if they wanted to, especially on Twitter. Those conversations were very NSFW, and there were links to the conversation being from Pyro, but by making it a grooming situation off the bat and being wishy-washy with it, no one's going to take you seriously, and they shouldn't. Because not only did you try and destroy Pyrocynical's career over something you lied about and never brought up to him, you don't really seem to care about what he did, but only who did it because Pyro's big and you can get clout off of him. You don't care about the other people you had chats with, you were only interested with Pyro's. And you're taking away from actual victims who, because of people like you in situations like this, get taken less and less seriously with each passing instance of this. Because more and more people become bitter towards accusations or victims coming out, and they won't take them seriously. They will assume that they're lying without giving them the chance to speak, even when they do have evidence, and I've seen this before. So I know the effect that people like Ivory have on the whole internet community, and it's only a bad one. I gave you a chance, Ivory. A lot of people did, and you turned out to be what a lot of people were calling you from the start. A clout chaser trying to ruin someone's career on YouTube, let alone on the internet, for attention. And now you want to act all bitter on Twitter about how no one believes you if you can't prove something. And if you're just doing it for clout, maybe you shouldn't put it out there. Had you come out saying that Pyro was doing weird roleplay with underage fans, without asking their age, that would have been one thing, maybe even reasonable in a way. But you took it too far, and the only people who are hurt by this really are actual victims. I hope you're happy with yourself, because next time a big YouTuber or any type of influencer gets accused of something bad, even when there's proof, people aren't going to take them seriously. Those people are going to get constantly harassed or ignored, or people are going to constantly bring up Slazo or ProJared, or Pyrocynical now, people who are falsely accused. And it's people like you that perpetuate that toxic mindset to the internet. Those people are wrong too, but people like you are the ones that justify it to them. They want to ignore when an influencer they like does something really bad, and you're helping build that mindset. That being said, it's always innocent until proven guilty. I've always said that, and I'll always stand by it. And I didn't accuse Pyro of any crimes because there wasn't any proof, and now we know there wasn't no crime. The only crime was committed by Ivory. But when you don't let potential victims talk, I think you're the problem. I think you're a really big one. But I think Ivory caused a lot more damage to the internet as a whole, and like victims, than I think he did to Pyrocynical, because people are going to use what he did to ignore victims, and that's only his fault. But when you don't let potential victims talk, I think you're the problem. And it just sucks that the internet is turning into this extreme of you either believe a victim immediately or you never listen to them, and it's terrible. But that being said, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. It just sucks to see creators getting unfairly accused of crimes just from people wanting attention. Pyrocynical deserves better, and thankfully this did turn into some big cancellation on Twitter. Along with that, I want to thank my members too. The names will be in the description as well. With a special thank you to XXXZali XX, Ace Williams, Mr. Personality, The Guy, Bromnick, Quinn, H3C, Florentine, Jennifer Green, Godfrey C, Zenith Productions, Wolfie Waffles, Thresh Your Last Name, and Kanye J 2020. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.